Bottle pop, truth drop, welcome to the show. Champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow.
Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex. To the show, champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow. Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex.
Second and let's talk. Yo, DJ, roll that beautiful champagne footage.
Confidants, what is your profession? See my friends, nothing but soldiers and empowerment always.
Pop that cork, let it rain, living lavish, no restraint.
Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Show your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Show your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Show your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang.
Champagne gang, biz fam, confidants, and visitors to the Champagne City. Y'all know what our chug your gang signs are. Put some champagne glasses in the chat. If the Champagne gang is in the house, I know it's late on a Saturday and some of us, is a little up in age. So doing a whole lot of extra stuff after about 10 o'clock don't really work too much for us. But if you are in the house, drop some champagne glasses in the chat as we get ready to talk yo shh. And while you're filling up those champagne glasses or water bottles or soda cans, whichever you like, check this out to set the tone for the show tonight. What y'all think? Your relationship is toxic if. So, in getting to today's subject of talking about toxic culture, dating and relationships, if it ain't toxic, it's boring. So, I put together some clips to let you know your relationship is toxic if. So, if you trying to figure out if your relationship is toxic or not, go ahead and press pause or, on the replay gang, rewind to that little segment. Your relationship is toxic if. Read them questions to yourself. Read those statements to yourself and determine whether or not you sleeping with the enemy. Because I'm convinced the problem with a lot of today's relationships is a lot of y'all are sleeping with the enemy and you don't even know it because you mesmerized between what's between the legs. We think too much from between our legs instead of above our neck. That be the problem. And I'm not talking about your tongue. Think better. Think bigger. I know we in this overly sexualized society that we currently find ourselves in, but if we gonna figure out how to get these relationships back on track, baby, we gotta think further up than the physical features that we're normally turned on by. What happened to be turned in? And see, I'm very sapiosexual. What happened to be being turned on by intellect? Did that happen anymore? Or did that go out the window with reading Rainbow and reading all together? Because do y'all ever pick up a book and read? When was the last time you picked up a book and fed your mind? When? When? If you don't feed yourself positivity, if you don't feed yourself education, intellect, power, empowerment, how in the world do we expect it to ever come out when we need it? Wow. So now we're in a toxic culture. Everybody's talking about it's toxic. But what are we going to do to change it from being toxic? Because when did we get here? I was just following the story of this idiot, this drumming dude, done unalived these 4 people and took a baby and left the doggone baby on stranger steps. When did we get to the place where relationships are absolutely toxic? And better yet, we like it that way. We get turned on and excited by the toxicity. When did we get to a place? As a whole, we not talking about a black thing, a white thing. We talking about as a whole. Because this is going on everywhere now. Everywhere. Every culture. It's going on. It's crazy. Why are we at a place where basically it's men versus women? And we cannot figure out how to come together as one like God created it so that we can create a better future for the next generation. Do you not realize if the enemy can keep us at odds fighting each other, then we completely destroy and divert the plan that God originally had for us, which is to reign and have dominion? How can you reign and have dominion if you're constantly at each other's throats? When did we get to a place where we love it toxic? We ain't okay unless he calling us a bitch. A hoe. Well, girl, that's how he showed me he loved me. Since when? Oh, what was that? Because the song say, I need a gangster bitch. I'm his gangster bitch, girl. He called me his gangster bitch. I'm his bottom bitch, girl. Yeah, he got all the rest of them, but I'm the bottom bitch. And we okay with being side pieces now. When did that happen? When? We got whole shows, reality shows devoted to side pieces. When did it become okay, ladies, to become a side piece? I was always told, why be the napkin left dirty when you can be the centerpiece? That's what I was told. When did we get to a place where it was okay? Oh, I know. I know when we got to that place. We got to that place when the bag was introduced. And when social media introduced the bag as a way to come up from where you were. So it was no longer about being wholesome. It was no longer about having standards and ethics. It was about chase the bag. Then you start having parents selling their children out for the bag. As much as I felt like R. Kelly needed to be in jail for what he did, I also felt like them parents needed to be in jail also, because how do you take your minor child to a studio with nothing but grown men and leave them there? What kind of parenting did y'all receive growing up? What did y'all see? And we wonder why. I can go over on Champagne Secrets Reacts and do a whole 4-part series on a 17-year-old girl on TikTok who is going viral because she was inviting other children, other young influencers over to her house and introducing them to a drawer full of sex toys and gummies and date rape drugs and toys. Because we've gotten to a place where it's gotten toxic. When did we get so toxic? And that's why we asked the question the other day, do we think the music is a major influencer in the toxicity that is going on in the world today? Because we've already established that majority of the people do not know how to separate reality from real life. They don't know how to separate the art from real life. Put it like that. They think they are the art. When Jason Momoa takes off the makeup from being Aquaman, Jason Momoa is Jason Momoa. He ain't Aquaman. That's a role he played. But now everybody don't want to play the role, baby. They want to be the role at all costs. And that's why the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. Because it also says money answereth all things, not money, but the love of money. Some people out here love money more than life itself, and they're willing to risk their life and limb to obtain money because it means that much to them. I can't trust anybody that chases money that hard. I don't mind you chasing your dreams. I don't mind that. I don't mind you chasing your success. I don't mind that. But when you start chasing the dollar, baby, that means you'll give me up in order to get it. Can't trust you. But when did we get so toxic? So I'm getting ready to drop the link for any of those who want to come up and have a conversation. Please remember when you come up to please be respectful. Make sure we're waiting until everyone has finished their thought before we chime in. And also make sure we're staying on the topic. We want to talk about dating. We want to talk about relationships. I want to have honest conversations between the men and the women. Women tell men things that we wish men understood about us. Men tell women things that men wish that the woman understood about them. Let's have a conversation about when did it all go bad? When did relationships get so broken that now we're at a place where men don't even really see women as individuals? They see them as items. And vice versa, the same. Women ain't exempt. We ain't innocent roses and lilies no more. No. Some women are just as bad as the men. So I want to have a conversation about it. Hold on one second. Let me drop this link. Now, remember, everybody that's coming up, we're talking about toxic culture. We're talking about dating. We're talking about relationships. We're having honest conversations, and everybody that's coming up on the panel is contributing to the conversation, okay? Or you will be dropped. All right, let's get ready to go. The link is in the chat, but I want y'all to think back. Those who are listening and might not be commenting or coming up on the panel, I want you to think back to your most romantic date. What did that day look like? When was the last time that you had a date that made you do like the movies? You know, when you walk through the door and you slide down the wall. When was the last time you experienced that? Welcome to the stage, Zach.
What up? What up?
So go ahead. What are your thoughts on dating and relationships and toxic culture?
Um, you know, I believe I've come to realize that dating, well, just relationships. It's two people, two individuals. For me, it's a man and a woman. Um, that you get to know you accept. You have to assess whether you're going to accept this person for who they are, good, bad, and indifferent. You know what you like, but there's going to be everybody is going to have their uh things that they quirks and they their weirdness or whatever. So can you love this person or accept this person for the things that you don't quite like, and then go from there. But now um it seems like don't nobody want the good of people anymore. It's like people have become desensitized to decency. Um, and if a person, male or female, um, shows that they're like kind of they're a decent person, they're a kind person, they're a loving person. It's like, nah, that's not in society as a whole. I think because that's the music, these shows. I think the entertainment industry as a whole has is not about entertainment in the sense of showing alternative worlds or people fulfilling their dreams. It's all about being programmed a certain way to destroy each other versus bringing each other together. So people are buying into that. People are buying into that. They love to hate each other.
Damn right,
So
Exactly
brother.
what I'm saying.
where do you think we went wrong in there? Like, how do you think we got to a place in relationships where there's no longer a reach for peace? It's always more so a reach for conflict,
I
or
think it's that damn old
almost
social
like a
media.
you owe me. Social media.
Uh,
Welcome to the
Social
stage, Craig.
media. Craig's back. Thank you for having me.
what's up,
No
Craig?
problem.
What's up, brother?
I believe, where I think it went. The I think the start of it were the talk shows, you know, from Donahue to Jenny Jones to what's the name, Jerry Springer. I think those are the places where that this has started. I
As in the
believe
toxicity. Okay.
the toxicity, yes.
I would, for me, I would have to push it a little further and pair along with you. I think that it was the beginning as far as the the household, because that's the first place that when a child comes into the world where they learn how to love, they learn how to spend, they learn how to possibly save, they learn how to clean, so forth and so on. So if that young child is not getting what they need from their parents as far as demonstration is concerned, then those young children grow up to be adults. So now you have kids that grew up in households that had no sense of normalcy, no sense of love, no sense of commitment, no sense of accountability, now growing up and they're adults and they're in the free world
And they end up
and
making
trying to figure
babies,
it
and the
out.
cycle repeats.
Absolutely, the cycle repeats. Now, here's my question. Now, let's flip it for the ones that did grow up in two-parent households. You know, when I was dealing with a lot with my daughter, around her 13 to about 16, 17, period, when I wanted to like send her to the creator myself because she just wanted to be street. She wanted to be hood. I don't know. I brought her up in church. Like we was a church folk. But flip it for those children who did grow up with a mama and a daddy in the house who still are choosing to be in toxic relationships. Where do you think the toxicity comes from? I heard Craig say social media. I think social media has a very strong influence on today's society and a lot of our actions, the things that we do.
Social media and that damn sexy red, let me tell you. I'm about tired of her shit.
She's horrible. But even if you go back further than that, like we had Lil Kim. Lil Kim was
Lil
horrible.
Kim, she was
Yeah.
something else.
We had a lot of this, to be honest with you, for in my eyes, started with our generation. This started with us Gen Zers, because a lot of our music was subliminal, but we knew what that music was about, and it was gateway music that led to what was we talking about, tip drill and all the rest of that stuff coming out, because everything was borderline going too far in our generation.
Y'all listen to Baby Chief do it or do him? A little Chicago boy, he be spitting hard.
See, I'm not a big Chicago person.
I
Listen.
don't like him either up there, but I like his music. Him and
Oh,
Kanye
wow.
West. Kanye's what
So
turned me
what do
on
you
to the black race, you know. I lost my racism when I started listening to Kanye.
really?
Yep. No lie.
But see, that's the thing about music. Music has a way of affecting people in different ways.
You know,
That
you
damn
say
runway track brings a fucking tear to my eye. Every time I hear it. Have a toast for the
Wow.
douchebags. Have a toast for the asshole. It's a fucking banger. I play that in my Ford F-150 everywhere I go.
Wow. Niecy, Father Lock, y'all out there?
Well, I got a question. I wanted to know, do you guys know when it got so bad that music would start making you want to hit somebody in the head with a bottle, or make you want to just have sex for that night, and then you wake up and be like, damn, did I just do that?
Well, damn Trey Songz. I tell you.
Because that's the direction the music took. It made you want to. Look, where else you gonna go without busting windows out your car?
I'm
Next
He
thing
very
you
does.
doing
My
is you about to
F-150
hit
window just
somebody
got
up.
broke the other week.
Next thing you doing, you hitting somebody upside the head with a bottle if you gonna bust some windows. It's an
Well,
escalation.
especially if
well
you
that
ain't
gets
scared of tigers and bears and all of that. Yeah, if you ain't scared of tigers and bears, you're gonna start busting out windows. Yeah,
You gonna
pretty much.
start busting out windows.
Yeah. Well, it took old girl her to say it best. You can do damage. If you feel like a man can do damage to you, that means it's time to start re-evaluating your relationship.
Time to get up out of there.
Yeah, because I don't know. So what do you guys think it's gonna take? Hold on one second, because I had some questions. Hold on. All right. Question number one. What's the biggest red flag you've spotted on a first date? What
She
is
had
your
kids.
first date okay, kids.
Yeah.
Craig said kids.
Mm,
What you say, Zach?
no, I said, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Father
I'm
Lot.
gonna say when your phone. I'm gonna say when your phone constantly ringing over and over again, and you constantly saying, "Give me a minute, give me a minute, give me a minute."
Yeah, I can say that's a
Okay.
big one right there. Being distracted from the conversation by phone or something. Yeah, I can agree with
Okay.
that.
Progressive.
I would slap the phone out of her hand if I saw that happen in front of me.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I wouldn't be
You
able to
going
take
to
that.
jail?
All the way to jail. I'm proud of you, my
Hyperbole.
boy, but you
That was
going
a
to jail.
hyperbole.
Greg, you can't catch a domestic violence case on the first date. Who does that?
Craig's got multiple domestic violences. He don't care.
Oh my goodness.
Craig's good with the
For me,
law. Johnny Law loves Craig.
so for me, I'm a big appearance person. Not appearance like I'm going to judge my date, but I mean, we all grown. You know, you come in on the date. You know, if you don't have an iron, you can always put those clothes on the hanger and let the hot water run, steam, let the wrinkles come out. You know, we on a date. Put it together. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. You put your best foot forward. So
Mm.
for experiences like that, where the date showed up and it kind of was like I didn't know in some instances whether they had just got out of the bed or whether they were going back to bed. Respect.
How
Okay.
do y'all feel
Question
about
number.
the Bone Thugs and Harmony reunion tour?
I don't know. They old.
Yeah, but they had fucking jams.
Yeah, they had some toxic music too, though.
What
And
about
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used
Crossroads?
to love them back in the day, but Bone Thugs
Good
had
or
some toxic.
leather.
You at that
Or can we say
crossroads?
demonic? They had demonic music. Talking about some Ouija. Are you with me?
Well, I mean,
Right.
they weren't as bad as what
They
was it,
did
the
say
3 6
that.
Mafia crew.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too, Craig.
Yeah, thank you,
3 6
sir. Thank you.
Mafia. See, that's a whole nother realm right there.
See,
They
toxic
They know
they
what they're
music.
started
talking
a
about.
lot of toxic stuff with their music. 3 6 Mafia. This is where a lot of that toxic stuff started too with them. Also,
We get Craig Crunk back in the day.
You know,
Question, y'all.
uh,
Question. What is your conversation starter on a date to gauge whether you and this individual are a fit?
I usually ask her how much she makes a year. Get straight to the point with it. Because she makes more
Oh,
than me, fucking
Father.
conversation over. I won't have that in my
we
house.
gonna we
Craig's the
gonna ask
breadwinner.
the Father to be with us and Craig this night tonight. We just gonna ask the
Ain't
Father.
nobody gonna make more money than Craig in the household. That's damn
So,
sure.
Craig,
Not on my watch.
you can't
I'll
have a
go
woman
ruin her
that makes
job. She
more
makes more than
money than
me.
you. You
No,
can't have a
I'll
woman
lose the
that makes
manhood
more
of the
than you.
house. No,
Okay.
because then she controls everything.
The rest of my
Craig can't get a
brothers, do
12-pack
y'all,
of PBR. If you got to think ahead. Craig can't
the
hang out
other
with his boys
fellas on
because he
the
ain't got.
panel,
what?
do y'all agree?
Agree
Can
what?
your woman or wife make more money than you?
Of course.
Will it be a problem in the relationship?
Nope. It won't be a problem
Not
because unless because the finances, anything else is secondary to establishing um who we are in a relationship. Now if it's you done dated and you come into agreement that, you guys finna, lock it in and go for it. So now we find out,
Would y'all
um,
sign the lease together, or would you put only your name on the lease?
huh?
Would you sign the lease together with said woman, or would you only put your name on the lease?
No, if I'm gonna be
I only put my
committed to this
name.
person, we gonna both be on there,
I only put my name on there.
huh?
Greg handles business. I only put my name on there.
Oh, that's fine. I
Greg
mean,
handles business.
to each his own. But I'm saying, as far as uh, before I wouldn't have a problem with her making more, but once we define, how we're gonna
Yeah.
do this relationship.
Once y'all done set a foundation and the grounds on how y'all gonna run things, it
Right,
shouldn't have to be made a point of contention how much she makes opposed to how much you. And me, I feel like it really depends on you as the male on what type of
right,
woman you went out and got. You would have to be a person who picked a woman who you would have that type of nature. Of course, you wouldn't seek out a woman who, if she did make more money than you, would try to emasculate you for that reason. So and for you, Craig, I understand where you're coming from. I've seen it many times before. A lot of men give their woman a leeway and allow her to stand in her queendom, and then she takes her queendom and then she start making him her gesture. And you get, sometimes people do get a little big headed when they are the one who's bringing in a little bit more. But when you have set a ground rule, well, I won't even say a ground rule, when you met energies, when you've met someone who's on the same common ground as you, as far as your relationship, where you see yourselves, what you see yourselves with someone doing, not just separate from one another, but together in this relationship, you shouldn't have those problems, and those questions shouldn't even have to come about, and thoughts of them shouldn't have to come about. But
right,
you do have to take that into initiative. What am I getting myself into if I do date someone who does bring a little bit more in than I do? For me, I feel like if you all are together, my finances are your finances.
I'll
We're
get her
working
demoted.
together. So even if I made a little bit less than you, our finances for the household. So if my woman is bringing in more, kudos to you, babe, considering the fact that corporate America wasn't designed for a woman to win at all. And the fact that you're winning, kudos to you,
So
babe.
what
Keep
you're
winning
saying
and
is my
keep making
company
that
should
money.
promote me faster than her. I agree with you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, like,
I
because
should get
I
promoted
mean,
more than her. Yes.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So for
Why is
my
she
baby to
getting all these
be,
promotions? Why is
so for
Craig
my
not getting
baby
a
to be
promotion?
doing it, I'll be happy for her, you know, because I know I picked a woman who wouldn't feel no type of way if I
right.
made more, she made more. It all would be on me. I would have to be the dummy who picked a woman who would emasculate me because she makes a little bit more, or vice versa. It's the same with women. Why would you pick a man because he makes more than you? Will be trying to be controlling to you because of money? Your bank account don't tell me who you are, bro, and it can never make you my daddy, bro, and it can maybe never make me you my ruler, bro. Not making my own
That would
dough.
also, you brought up a good point because that would also make you have to start asking yourself, how do you choose? And this is a question for the panel. How do you choose the individual that you are going to go past? This is just having fun. How do you choose? How do you know this is an individual that you want to see where it goes with?
Hey, Champagne, thanks for having me up. I got to go real fast. Thank you for having me
All
up.
all right, love, no problem. Thank you for
Much
coming
Thanks
All
for
right,
in.
coming
Craig.
through,
Have a
Have a
Craig.
good
good
night.
night,
Always
man.
come back,
Have a good
bro.
night, y'all.
All
Good
right,
speaking.
bye, Craig.
All right, Greg.
I want to try to answer that question first, and then I'm gonna go on mute. I think that when you know that that person is for you is when y'all laugh without even knowing y'all laughing together. I think that when y'all hang a lot more than any other couple has ever really hung, y'all out chilling all the time outside of working, and y'all laughing together all the time. I think laughter is the best thing part of a relationship, is making each other laugh.
Yeah, in
Okay, next.
conversation, I think you'll know, based off of how y'all conversate and interact, and once you start, things just start flowing. It doesn't seem like um, it's you're doing the song and dance. You still get to know everything starts flowing. You know, um, and you just know it. You find out that you have a common interest. Um, Things just feel comfortable. You know, I mean, I don't know
The
um,
affection, the look in the
the
eyes
affection.
of each
Yeah,
other.
it's
Yes, I really
you'll
think that
know,
plays a lot.
you'll
For
know.
Well, how do
me,
you now? Here's my
how
question
do
for
I
you. How do you
know?
know? How do you know that that's not just for the moment? Beginning relationship thrills. How do you know that's how that person is going to be a year down the line, 3 years down the line? Like, how much
You know
time do
how
you
I know?
invest to make sure you know?
For me, speaking of me, I know by the little action of things being done that I did not even make note to you. When you pay
Right?
attention to things that I haven't even made aware to you,
Yeah.
and that's when I know. When you're paying attention to things you don't have to pay attention to, those are the things you pay attention to way down the line, and you're paying attention to them already. That's when I know, because you who pays attention to, oh, you paid attention that I fold my shirts like this. You paid attention that
Right.
my eyes are blue. Who pays attention to I have more lines in this eye than that one? You are looking at the very essence of everything, the small in me. You're not even
Right.
focused on the bigger picture. You're looking at the very small things, and that's where you start off first, at the very small things. That's what
That's
lead up to the big things. You
yeah.
start off on the first step. You don't hop all the way to step 5. You risk falling down, take step by step. And that's when you start off with the smaller
Mhm.
things. That's how I know when a
Yeah.
person is there for the long haul. When you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing as a courtship. We in courtship. We're just in to get to know. And you know that much about me already. Yeah, I need to get you to know me. I need to know you now. And I need to know you for a good while.
Yeah.
Can we
Okay.
say sex
Progress.
too? Can we say sex too?
You can say
For
it.
me, I don't know. For that's where the deal breaker come in to me. It's when you trying to get me in bed too fast. It leads me to think that one thing above things. It makes me think you got something and you're trying to give it to me, and then make me to blame that you got it, because I no, it don't take. I do. I'm not. For me, this is me. And and maybe I'm a little bit too old school. I can see us. When a woman is overly aggressive about fucking me, I question that. You at me too hard and you at it too hard. You're not trying to get to know anything about me. First of all, you're a female, and you that quick to want to hop on me, and you don't know anything about me at all other than I just met you and told you my name. And already we talking about what sexual positions I like, what I like to do in bed. You would do this to me, you would do that to me. Complete turn off. I'm finna go in the opposite direction. It's an instant turn off
So
for me.
since you brought that up, question then, is sex a turnoff during the first conversation?
For me, it
Yes.
is.
I didn't know we were still talking about first conversation. I thought you said a couple of months down the line. See, in them
Oh, a
couple of
couple of
months down
months.
the
Oh,
line, sex
shit.
is going to be
No, that's a
involved.
little bit too now.
Sex is
Don't
going to
I ain't
be
going
involved in
crazy
those couple
now.
of months, and it's going to
Now,
play a
come on
major
now,
part in
Nikki.
that.
No, no, no. We need to come back a little further than that. Now, come on now. We ain't going no 3 months. Now, I'm not talking about first day, but damn, maybe 3 weeks into a month, maybe. Okay, now we can
Yeah,
start
she
three
said a
months.
couple of months
Fuck
along the
that.
line, and that's the
No,
reason
three
why I
months.
said is sex part of it, because you're gonna be to have sex in those 3 months. I'm sorry. Majority of
No,
people
no,
are gonna have sex
I'm
in those three
no
months.
no.
within that
So,
month. You talking
so,
about
so
3 months within
let me
that month.
clarify. Let me clarify. What I said was, how do you know this is an individual that's going to be there for the long haul?
Oh, the
That's what
long
I
haul
was
with then
saying.
sex play part of that too. I'm sorry.
That's what I
Sex do
said.
play
The
part of that.
smaller little things for me that they've noticed that I'd even made a note about. Say for instance, a person paid attention to how the way you sneeze or how the way you laugh or certain little quirky things you do that you don't even pay attention that you do. That's when you know a person, because ain't
Right.
nobody trying to get to know you like that who's not in it for the long haul. I don't need to know that much about you if I'm just trying to bang and get playing.
Yeah,
That's
you
I
it.
have to be
So
a
believe.
that's what it is for
I
me.
believe.
It don't take you to do all that just to lay me down. To get to know that
I,
much in me in that little short minute of time, I haven't even got to know you like that. So that's what I look for. Like when people are doing stuff over and beyond already, and it's a consistent. It's not like
how
it
attentive
started
you
and then
are.
it stopped. It was
I
consistent
believe.
and it's
I
still
believe
going.
like for. I believe for me, it's the instance for when a person would literally let you know if you would pay attention is when that person begins to make your interest their interest and not even tell you. And you can see
That's
it
what I'm talking to.
like
Yeah,
like 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 when
that
we
bro.
like
Yeah.
you said you don't like sports, baby girl, but I've been, watching the games or whatever. I'm trying to get with you. Or you may be like, man, like, guess what? Da 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 da. Art something came out, and you like, oh, like I know you was in the art like that. Like, nah, but I am because you into it. You know what I'm saying? Once you start making their interest and start doing little things like this, so much so saying like, hey, I don't even not in a creepy way. But I don't want you to have an interest that I don't know about or at least attempt to get into because you're into it. Where you are, that's
I
where I
get what
want to be.
you're
See,
saying. Making
when men,
their
when,
wants and
when men,
things a point of
yeah,
add here. Yeah, bro. Not creepy, but just
when,
a point of add here.
And also,
when men like, and then when you do that, then you get in that vibe, and then she gets in that vibe, and then allow you to be yourself, and then you just start saying random things. You like, man, I should have wrote that down. Like, man, hey, baby girl, already know what it is between me and you. Be like, reason you
I totally
everywhere I
agree.
want to be. You feel me? But they don't want to do that no more. But that's
and,
all a part of and the blessing of the journey that we had. And I wish that they would, but they don't want that.
and
They just want to
also,
smack.
when, you know, for me, when I see her really, truly comfortable with me to where, she's not, the walls are down. She's comfortable to be her quirky, all her quirkiness and weirdness or
Mhm.
whatever. And she's comfortable in just being her. And you can just tell that she really, you're a safe space for her. And that. That's
Yeah.
lets me know when I know that she's really comfortable and she's not trying to hide or trying to make an excuse for this action or for however she may talk or she's comfortable with you and she's letting everything hang out. Oh yeah, she's comfortable. I'm a safe space for her. Let me go ahead and
Well, I don't want nobody thinking I'm a cockhound. I'm really saying it like this. Intimacy
Oh
does
my
pay.
God.
Let's
Did
go to
nobody say
intimacy.
that?
Let's go
Did
to
nobody
intimacy,
say that?
okay?
Go
So
ahead.
I really
Okay.
do think that affection and intimacy does play a role in the long haul because I was involved in a
I
relationship
agree.
where some that he was he was impotent, he couldn't get up, you know what I'm saying? So at this time it's like, dang, I'm used to walls being hit and now they're not being hit anymore. So that love that you supposed to have from that long haul, would you stay in a relationship like that if your man becomes impotent? That is the reason why I brought that up.
Well, you can ask that same question. Will I stay with my woman when she becomes impotent?
Yeah, I said it. It could go both ways. That's why I said intimacy and sex. Because right up in our day and age, some of us at this age are becoming impotent. Let's get that. Let's get that together. Some people are diabetic and can't. The empathy does leave when you are on insulin.
Well,
So what
I
I'm
can
saying
answer you
is,
from a I can
I
answer you
was
from
with
a
a man
personal
who was
standpoint.
diabetic and he lost his impotency from the insulin. So it's either how would you handle that situation if you were used to the sex with this person in a long haul and now he can't perform like he could anymore?
I will
so
continue to be with my partner. because it wasn't about sex that I'm with you. Sex was an addition to what you had for me. It wasn't
Right.
about that. Because that was about sex, I would have just fucked you and left. I didn't have to go through no long haul just to fuck you.
Yeah, but some people have longings though. I guess I was being wrong and foul at the
No,
time,
you
but
weren't being
How did
wrong. You
yeah.
are who you are, and you
how
to
did
be
you
who
feel
you are.
about
And
him?
your sexual enlightenment
I
is
mean,
different from anybody else's.
I
You don't have to
stood by
apologize
his
for who you
side
are as a
for a
person.
minute. You know what I'm saying? But I was longing for that, and it caused a frustration in our relationship.
Um, and I'm not saying you don't long for it. You do. I mean, your body is not impotent. Their body is. So your sexual desires and functions don't stop. And yes, you long for it. And yeah, you get frustrated because you don't want to go out on your partner. You want to have these, you want to express all of this on them. Unfortunately, they can't give you the same satisfaction. Me personally, how my heart works, sex is not a main thing for me. You were. So if you can't fuck me no more, okay, you just can't fuck me no more. That's just it. I don't
Question: do you
feel,
guys think that we introduce sex into the relationship too soon?
yeah,
Yes,
100%.
Nowadays,
yes.
Because,
because
and the reason why I say that, because having this conversation.
I had a woman tell me like a few months ago, we just getting to know each other. She tell me, look, you know, we got to have sex at least twice, soon because it take a couple times to let you know if y'all compatible, and then we can go from there. I
She
said,
was
oh,
she was horny. She was
I said,
horny.
oh,
She was horny.
And wanted to make an excuse not to look like a
She
bust
horny.
down. Just say you
She was
I
wanted
said,
to touch
horny.
dang.
her.
Oh,
I
She
said, what's
wanted
your,
to give her some.
I said, what's your favorite colors? She's like, yeah,
And that
penis.
Hey,
favorite color
that's
is whatever the color of
crazy.
that penis is.
That
That's what
penis.
her
That's
color
what she.
was.
Come on now, say it again.
So y'all think we introduce sex into relationships too fast?
It
Yes,
all
I
I
definitely,
depends
I
agree.
definitely,
on it
I
depends
think,
You
on the relationship because
I
some
think
people
that
want a
we,
long relationship, like Nisi said, and sex do play a big part when you are a high natured person. So I understand where she was coming from, and then you have people who are just hit it and quit it. And then you got some people who just want to have some encounters here and there, maybe once or twice out of a month. So it all depends on what relationship take place that y'all
We
trying to
talking
have,
about
whether or not sex get introduced too soon.
yeah, we
Now, if
talking
you talking
about
about a long haul
relationships going to a
relationship,
long.
now, a long haul relationship, I don't think we introduced it in there too soon. The reason why I say that, talking about sex is not having it. Having it in the relationship is too soon. It's never talking about it is too soon because you want to make sure you're compatible. At some point, y'all going to be intimate. So before we cross that bridge, let me see, can we cross that bridge? What are you into? What do you like to do? You don't got to go into, damn, you eat pussy. You can, there's ways to have this conversation without
right?
it
Right.
being like it's made too soon or it becoming vulgar.
The
Yeah.
We all
conversation is
grown,
cool, but we're like specifically the act of sex. Do we introduce that into relationships or what we're trying to build into relationships? Do we introduce sex too soon? Here's my question. And the reason why I ask this is because when you start talking about having sex and we start talking about intimacy, now we're talking about
uh-huh,
emotions, we're talking about
uh-huh,
chemicals getting involved.
Hmm.
uh-huh.
When we start introducing those things too soon, does it overshadow things that we should be paying attention to that now
Yeah,
we're not because the sex
yeah,
was good? So, do
yes,
we
it
Yes,
does.
introduce sex in relationships too soon?
Yes, it
I
yes,
does.
think
I think
so.
sex, yes,
yes.
I definitely think
Yes,
sex
it
was
does.
introduced way too soon, especially considering not too many years before ours, before an individual would link up, they considered a multiple array of things. One, are you going to be good for me? I mean, call it what you will. Are you going to be good for me financially? Are you going to be good for me emotionally? Are you going to be able to, if we have to, be able to raise children, so forth and so on? And these are the things that a lot of times, especially in these day and age, people don't ask because unless the person is not able to produce, you're going to stand a strong chance of with this individual that you may be saying, "Hey, I'm just going to go and we gonna have fun or whatever the case may be." But the individual may end up being in your life for the rest of your life because you laid with that individual and you didn't consider all the factors. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't do what they want to do with their own person, but I'm saying that's where the
I
toxicity
get you.
begins because a lot of times
I
we
agree.
don't do thorough vetting. Hey, it's not a bad thing for you to protect your life and for you to protect yourself. You won't go outside and throw yourself in front of a car, so why throw yourself in front of a toxic relationship that could potentially cause you to throw yourself away?
I agree. And the only reason why I say yes, they introduce sex too soon is because I'm a female. I'm a woman. And me growing up, there were a lot of men that I met, the first thing on their mind was having sex. They weren't thinking about whether I like this color or did I want this or do I like this or what TV show do you like or just to get to know you know. They were trying to have sex. So yes, people do try to introduce sex too early. They do.
Right,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I've found, I would, sex, is for me more enjoyable when I'm stimulated mentally by my
Yeah.
partner. I need to be. Can you, not to be sound vulgar, but can you get me off mentally?
Yeah.
Can we engage on that
Sapiosexual.
level? Huh?
Sapiosexual is that term.
Yeah, sapiosexual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we
Sapiosexual.
let's vibe like that. Let's intercourse like that. Let's see if we can do that. Cause that's sex, the physical act. Yeah, we can do that all day. We can, jump around, but can we meet in the mind?
Can our minds intertwine first and
Can our
then
mind
everything else will
intertwine?
follow? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, because some people can't relate, they whether it's the man or the woman, they see that they're not intellectually on par with this person. So now let me go to this to the sex thing. Let's start because you're trying to escape
Yeah.
from the intellectual side because you can't relate. You see this person is a little bit more advanced. You can't keep up. So now you just want to bring it to the base, to the natural base of things. Nah, let's stay here in the mental first. Then we'll get
Right.
to that.
At
Okay,
what
Because
okay.
point
Can
in
I
the
ask this? Can I ask you this question, Champagne? Do you
go ahead.
think that this also consists of the makeup sex? When you want to experience the makeup sex more better than you want to experience the sex of, you think we doing it too soon?
Well, in order to have makeup sex, that would mean you would have to have a conflict. And if you're just getting to know each other and you're having makeup sex already, that means you're having conflict already, which means that's a red flag already.
I thought you said so we not on the long haul no more. We off of that now.
We're on the long haul, but we still in the beginning of it.
Oh, so we can't make up yet. See, that's what I want.
We
See, I
can't
like
make
that
up yet.
part.
Missy.
Oh my God. I can't take it.
Nisi, Nisi B.
Yes, sir.
I ain't trying. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing like that, but did you and this impotent man just break up or something?
Okay, all I'm gonna say is it's the truth. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
But it brings up It brings up an important conversation, and this is why I said the conversation of sex is not a problem, because you need to know whether or not the individual that you're talking about being with for the long haul can match whatever your level is. If you have a super high sex drive, what sense do it make to get with somebody who has a very low sex drive, even if the penis is good, because you ain't gonna get it and you're gonna be frustrated.
Right.
But you don't find out about that until later though.
Not necessarily. That's why you have those conversations up front.
And let's be
Okay.
let's be if we would play back, talking to myself as well, if we would play back in the real of our mind the relationships if we could, and it wouldn't be too traumatic for a number of them, and say like, man, like right here, that individual showed me exactly who they was. But at the end of the day, unless you changed, I changed, what we liked, did nothing different happen. And for what's going on in this area, these individuals like it. You can try to talk them out of it, beat them out of it. They like it. They like it. The
I want to
fighting.
ask y'all men. I want to ask y'all men this, since we're at the beginning. Since we're at the beginning now, if you run into a woman, you really like her vibe, you really digging what she like, y'all digging each other what y'all like. Then soon as y'all get in the bed and the sex wasn't what you thought it was, how would you men handle that with that female once you find out that this is not what you want?
I gotta go. I gotta go.
You
Because
said
if
at the
it's bad
beginning?
today, it'll be bad tomorrow.
You said at the beginning, Nisi?
Hey, Champagne said we at the beginning still.
That's
So
what I'm saying,
if you
respectfully.
Yeah, you
In
just, I
the
mean,
beginning, for me, we're in the infancy of the relationship, and you're figuring me out, I'm figuring you out, and then we
yeah.
finally get to this point, and I realize like we're not, we're not compatible here. I gotta go, because if not, then I'm going to put myself in potentiality of being in a toxic situation, because I'm coming
That's
to
right.
engage with a person that
Or
may
not,
look
not.
that may look good to me but cannot satisfy me, which is going to create a problem.
And
And
when
I
Mhm.
that
gotta play
does,
the
like you
I
said,
gotta play the
progressive, that
devil's
leads.
advocate. I gotta play the devil's advocate though, because what happened to, because you're in a relationship, this is somebody you're saying you want to build with. What happened to showing them the way you like it?
Uh-huh.
What happened to
And
that?
then,
Because if we in a relationship and we building, I don't know you, you don't know me. This our first sexual encounter. So I mean, think about it on the flip side. Is that the way you would want her to do you? If it was flipped and you weren't satisfying her, would you want her to show you the way she like it so you could fulfill her? Or is it just, would you expect her to think like you and just walk away?
See, there's a
Hmm.
difference from what I was saying from an individual who you may be in that situation and they're engaging, and you see that individual, for lack of a better term, putting forth a valiant effort, which is saying this individual will love me enough to be teachable enough to learn me and I learn them. Versus the individual, when y'all get into that situation, it is completely a lackluster masterpiece of minimalism, and you see no possibility of any shaping going on here. You're going to stay.
How do you know that though? Because you could be dealing with somebody who's just used to a conservative lover, and they're not used to someone who's gonna smack it, flip it, and rub it down.
See,
So you different. You
that's
something
where
new.
conversation come in at, because you got to press for those conversations. Okay, understanding is everything. Conversation and communication is key. I've learned that you have to have communication. Because you can have, if you jump, you can be blinded or you can be fooled by sex and not knowing that this person really can't keep up by, at the beginning, when y'all both, probably ain't had it in a while, y'all was vibing a little bit, after the first few conversations, the first few dates, then y'all both hit it, and y'all, both of y'all have a good time sexually, but that's because maybe both of y'all was pent up or something, whatever the situation may be. But then y'all get in a relationship and you find out, wait a minute, this person ain't, like you were saying, Empress. One may be a high sex drive, but then you find out you thought this one was a high sex drive, but they're not. You know what I mean?
So how
Because
much
you
do
didn't
y'all?
communicate. Y'all didn't really communicate. Before y'all got on.
Okay, well, I want to say this. Now y'all know I'm kind of blunt, so no, I am blunt. Now I have experience with a little tickle me Elmo guy before, and I really thought since he was tickle me Elmo that I was gonna be like, nah, I'm finna leave him alone because I done heard chicks talk about tickle me Elmo's dudes. You're not supposed to laugh down there. You're not supposed to get tickled down there. But at the same time, I really did give a guy, a tickle me Elmo guy, a chance before, and we lasted for a little minute. But like I say, it depends on what you like, what you're willing to deal with, and how long you're going to deal with that. Because like
We are
Progressive
not gonna
said,
keep running past what you said. Like you didn't just say what the hell you just said. Now I'm a freak, please and believe. But what in the hell is a tickle me Elmo?
it's a little dick nigga. But all I'm saying is this.
Oh Lord.
I don't. I was just gonna say a person that's little.
But all I'm saying is this: like there is like I have had female associates that left they little tickle me Elmo person, but then I have had one myself, and at first I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I did participate for a little minute, but sometimes they do have anger issues. So, and like Progressive was saying, some things if you for some
Please, please.
let me finish because I really do have a good point here. And like Progressive was saying, if you decide to keep on going, it could turn toxic. Knowing doggone well, you can't deal with Tickle Me Elmo. That you probably like a Coke bottle or something. So why still deal with Tickle Me Elmo knowing you ain't supposed to go and do it anyway? So that's all I'm saying.
She said he got angry.
Oh, oh my goodness. I can't get it out of my head now. Oh, Father, Father, Father.
That's really messed up.
Y'all know how I am, so y'all ask. So I'm listen here. I'm just saying, and it does happen, and then them short ones do be having anger issues. You would think that they were some little people. You would think they were little people, and they not. They are the tall, and they still be mad. So I'm just saying.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let me
That's
pull this
really
together.
terrible.
Oh,
Oh, I can't
That's
breathe.
really,
Okay.
man,
that's really
Okay.
messed up.
Your ideal relationship. How often
man, it's
are you
crazy.
having how often are you having sex in your ideal relationship? And do you think there's a such thing as too much sex? Now this in a relationship period. This not the beginning. This just period. What's your if you're with
Oh,
somebody you want to have
uh,
sex
uh,
at
uh.
least what?
See, y'all
Y'all
don't
don't
want me
know?
to answer that.
Well,
Y'all
and
don't want me to answer that.
I'll say, um, if if everything is good, everything been hashed out, everything's clear up front. There's no barriers of issues. There's no gray areas, whatever. I think, you know, however frequent, you know, there's no. I don't think there's no such thing as too much. You know, as much as your body allows. You know, so but I I think, you know, but everything, you know, when all cylinders are on, when I mean by all cylinders, that the communication is good, the understanding is good, everything is good. When everything is, you know, all the due diligence at the beginning was done and the foundation is right, I don't think there's a thing as such as too much.
Me either. I'll say go to the hills, the mountains, the caves, do it all.
Progressive.
Oh, I agree with Nisi.
So y'all all think no amount of sex is too much in a relationship.
No, but all jokes aside,
No.
though, I do think it has its proper place because you don't want it, even when it's amazing, you don't want it to become consuming
That's
because
true.
it
Yeah.
can happen if not careful. You'll be at work and you're supposed to be working and you're thinking about it. And then it start popping up in places like it really ain't supposed to. You at the place of worship and it's popping into your head. Then at that point, it's becoming a issue for you because it's becoming all consuming. And nothing should consume you that much to where you cannot function in the places that you need to function.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
probably
that's when
times you
you
got to
gonna need a
rest from it,
control center. Yeah.
but it's gonna, if it's good, it's gonna pop up in your mind, Doc.
For sure. Well, at least it's popping up in your mind because sometimes you can lose it. You really can. So I say keep it strong long as you can because the thrill can get gone.
When it
Yeah.
comes to relationships, what percentage do you say sex plays in your relationship?
59%.
59? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You say
Fellas,
I would say 52%.
I don't know what the hell wrong with y'all. Y'all real low. Cause what is going on?
you say low.
Well, but so if you want to say a whole 100%, then you're gonna be saying we doing too much.
Well, I ain't say 100, but 50. Lord, 50 kind of low.
You think so? Well, you think so? You think 59% too low?
Yeah, that's too low.
Okay, well then you want me to tell the truth? I'm gonna say 80%, ma'am.
That's a whole lot better. That
I
when,
was
when
going, I'm
when
trying to
y'all
be
talking
nice
about
now.
when y'all talking about as
You
much
trying to
sex
be
as you
wholesome?
can get,
Yeah, I'm trying, Zach. See, I'm trying. I told y'all I be trying.
y'all talking about as much sex as y'all can get, and then y'all percentage is 59. What?
Well,
Well,
see,
because
you got to
you
see.
don't want to say too much and say that the sex is taking over. Then the intimacy and the loving and the
Wait, no,
caressing and the affection be
no.
gone.
See, you got to
I didn't
factor
say
in.
anything.
You got to factor in life. You got to factor
Mm-hmm.
in her menstrual cycles. You got to factor in sickness. You got to factor in, I don't feel like it right now. You got to factor in some stuff. So, you
Yeah.
know, you got to factor in life.
Well, for me, it's like 35, maybe 40%.
Oh Lord,
Now that's low.
Damn.
sounds
Me, I don't care about it all like that.
oh. Oh wow. I pray for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pray
Well,
for
for
you,
me, I'm
Father,
fine with that.
because I'm
I'm
trying to
saying
go tell it on the mountain.
on the
You hear
mountain,
me?
over the hills, and everywhere. Cause what do you mean?
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Jubilee.
'Cause what? No. I don't
These,
ever, I
Yeah.
don't ever want to get to a place where it don't matter to me. Never. And there are
Yeah.
people who are there, and I look that to each its own. That is not my testimony. It is not.
Mine
It is
either.
I understand.
But
But
I love you
these
though,
are
and
really
I'm
serious
so happy that you
questions.
cut like that though.
Oh, it
But
don't
these are
mean
Yeah.
really
intimacy.
serious questions that have to be asked in relationships because if, let's say, you tried to put an individual like Nisi who gotta have it every 5 minutes
I
with
say
somebody
5 minutes.
who don't care about it, you're asking for a crack in the relationship because you're not on the
Yeah,
same page.
Hence the reason
right.
why you
That's
find
right. That's
someone
right.
who fits your bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like we just, sometimes you gotta decline. You do, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing no more tickle me Elmos. I'm not doing none of that. You gotta be right because it's my choice.
Hey, now it's funny. It's funny that you would bring up a furry individual because hey, so this is one of the things I think is a clear cut indicator of when you're in the midst of heading towards a toxic relationship. When the person that you're attempting to build this relationship with does not respect your boundaries, and I'm still keeping it on the sexual, because you have a lot of things
Hmm.
that happen in the world at large in which we know. A prime example, like Furbies, for instance, individuals who dress up as furry animals in
Furbies.
costumes and
What?
engage. Yeah, see, if
Oh,
you
see,
meet
I
an
wasn't ready.
yeah. So if you meet this individual and then I'm just saying what I'm saying. If the individual does not respect your boundaries, that's one of the clear cut indicators that you're heading into a toxic relationship for me personally. Because
So
if
you
I tell you
Yeah.
I'm
saying
not into if
so
I say
you
I'm not into it and you constantly trying to get me to be into it, it's a sign. It's one of those red flags for me
Yeah, because if you
personally.
ask me to pee on you, I'm
pineapples.
not doing that. There's something wrong with you, and you need to go get some help in my book. Now, it's some people like to get peed on, but
So
to
the
me
showers
myself,
is crazy.
yeah, but me myself, and just because R. Kelly like it, don't mean everybody else like it. You some stuff you right. Some people don't like certain stuff.
How deep in conversations do we go with individuals that we're talking about we want to be in a relationship with, where we understand what they do and do not like sexually, or what they do and do not want? Do you think we do not go deep enough in those conversations to see if, in fact, we are compatible? Like, what if your woman like playing with toys? You gonna pull out a toy and play with her? Or is that too far? Like, how far of a sexual conversation do you have with someone that you're talking about you want to be in a relationship with?
I think
Well,
you have that, but like some people
that's a good one.
they they will like hold back. They won't expose that they're Furby, in those initial conversations because they may feel like they may be feeling some type of way about it. Or they don't think that they're comfortable enough to share that with somebody. So you that type of the deeper stuff. Some people be holding back because they may feel like they're going to be looked at as weird, at the front, at the offset. So that's
But that's why that's why the conversations has to be had.
But I'm
And I
saying
know
the
other people are
conversation
gonna
in the
look at
initial, they can be had, but if this person, got these, special kinks, they may feel like I can't let this out right now. You know what I mean?
see, yeah, but that's the thing where like if you're really feeling this individual, which
Yeah.
people used to do a lot too in a lot of healthy relationships that we've seen or may have been in, but it just didn't last for whatever reason. Each one knew when to yield for each other and also when to extend themselves in order to make that individual feel comfortable. If you know it's something that you want to get out with this individual, then you could take the lead or she could take the lead if she's the one that has the question in its respective place and say, hey, like, what's the freakiest thing you ever done? Or what's the freakiest thing you ever done? And then you take the initiative to like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And then you drop it and you drop a bomb. One of your nuggets, you drop it
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
see what
agree. It
happens.
should be
Some
talked
people
about.
may
It
not be
should
do
be
that
talked
though.
about.
Some people may not I'm saying at the beginning, like if y'all, I'm
I
saying at the
feel you.
beginning. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah, I feel
Now,
you.
once you get into the groove, yeah. But I don't think I ever want. Yeah, you can be comfortable all you want to. I ain't finna dress up as no fur animal.
I know
So
that's
then,
right.
so then here's the question again. It goes
Uh,
back to the other question. Do we think we're introducing sex into relationships too soon? Because if you
Hmm.
feel like truly that they're not going to be completely honest with you about what they like, but you're jumping into bed with this person and potentially opening up your heart and your spirit and your emotions and your mind and your soul and all that to this individual, are we offering that up too soon, not knowing exactly what we're getting in return? If we're going to say sex is soul tie, then what are you tying yourself to in this relationship when you haven't really taken out the time to get to know even what this person wants or what they're going to bring to the table? Are we introducing it too soon? Does this say, okay, well, now I think maybe the next time I decide to get in a relationship, I may hold off because now there's some questions I need to ask and some things I need to think about.
Hey,
Hmm.
here's one clear cut indicator, which I'm pretty sure possibly has happened to all of us on this line, where you met this individual and you thought it was smooth or whatever. You may have met him in the club or you may have met him wherever, and it was just one of them. Maybe it should have been a better lit day, respectfully, and things end up happening, and then instantly after you do what you do, now it's like, yeah, I'm not even feeling it. So yes, definitely, we're jumping in too fast. And a lot of instances when that happened and the individual get ghosted, it wasn't even possibly because the individual could not have been the one. But you jumped in fast and all you went off of was possibly body or print or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we jumping in too fast. Sex, 9 times out of 10 in the world in which we live in, is the lead. This is the era of Netflix and chill, which we all know really don't include Netflix except for in the background.
Yeah.
and that's an individual. It's an individual thing too. Only we know if we're introducing it too fast because like Progressive just said, we all got experiences, so um, we know what we want, what we don't want, when we want it, and when we don't want it. So I think that's more of a introducing, sex too fast. That's an individual thing, you know, that a person has to, okay, I got to remember, okay, I remember what happened the last time I did it like this. Am I gonna do it like you just said? Am I gonna, hold off, this next go round, and wait a minute. So I think that's more of an individual decision when you introduce it, or if you're introducing it too fast or not fast enough.
You just faded out.
Uh,
Okay, there you go. It's back. The
did you hear
screen
me?
glitch. You
Oh,
said it's more of
I
an
flipped my screen. I'm
individual.
sorry. Uh,
You said it's more of an individual. Keep going.
yeah, I think that whether a person introduces whether we introduce it too fast or not fast enough, I think it's a more of a individual thing because only we know um, how we were the previous time versus this next time. You know what I mean? You just alluded to it. You were like, okay, so if I get this next relationship, do I wait or do I not? Or this person, do I just give them a shot? Based off of whatever. So I think that's more of an individual uh decision of or yeah of how fast we introduce it
I,
or not.
I think it leads back to, I think I said it earlier, like when it's consuming, it could become a big, big, big issue
Yeah.
Because let's just say, on the individual tip, you do vibe out and things
Yeah.
happen and they unfold how they unfold.
Yeah.
So, and then it's really, really good. So now when it's good, of course, what's going to happen? You're going to want to do it. So in the midst of you now setting basically the precedence of your relationship, saying, "Man, this sex is good. This is what we're doing." But while you're doing all that and you're having all that good time, you're missing valuable conversations that you could be having in
Right.
order to get not just good sex, but also get somebody you could potentially build a legacy with. But
Right.
now the basis of the relationship is sex.
Yeah.
So, like, if you rush in too soon, and this is just my personal opinion, you rush in too soon, it's like so costly. Even if it's good, it's costly because we gotta have conversations. That's why a lot of relationships are where they are right now because there's no conversation. So now you got two people striving to live and to love and really don't have anything to talk about. They can't talk about politics. They can't talk about finances. They can't talk about faith. They just know that he beat my back down and she always get me up.
Yeah, if you forever being a one night stand and a booty call, that's not a relationship no more. Yeah, pretty much. Because even if you in a relationship and that's all y'all enjoy is sex, then it's basically like that's all y'all talk about and that's all y'all do. There's nothing else to be talked about. That's not a relationship anymore. It's just a sexual relationship.
Hmm.
Do you think people confuse the two? Do you think they confuse authentic relationships with sexual relationships?
Yes, and those are the ones that sprung and want to break your doors and peep through your windows and all that. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
They
Yes,
sprung.
because those individuals are not telling a untruth, if you will. They're in love, but they're in love with
Mhm.
what they in love with, and then that just so
Yeah, they
happens to be a
lustful.
part of you. It just so
Yep.
happens to
They.
be a part of you.
Mhm.
They enjoy the parts of you.
Mhm. I believe that's why that song was made. I bust the windows out your car because now you don't want to have sex no more either. We ain't got no relationship. Nah, you don't want to have sex no more either. Now I'm finna bust the windows out your car. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
it's the
much.
Mm-mm-mm.
era. It's the era of not being
Mhm.
able to cope. We played Jodeci, Fiending on
Yeah.
yesterday
Hmm.
when we was talking about the toxic music. Like,
Mhm.
how good is this individual that you just had that you rather be locked up in a white padded room because you can't have this individual? That's some toxic shit. A lot of our
That's
music
right.
was extremely toxic. And if this is all that we're feeding into our spirit, feeding into our emotions, feeding into our mental, like Craig was talking about, the sexy reds, the Sukianas, where all you talking about is coochie and coochie juice and penis in your coochie juice and squatting stole the coochie juice and all of this juice,
That's
then
a lot
that's
going
all
on.
you eat.
Man, that's
So
a lot
then
of juice.
when you get a man, you ain't thinking about no wholesome relationship. All you thinking about is squirting some coochie juice.
And she wanted to turn it into a dang on lip gloss, talking about gonorrhea and syphilis lip gloss. All her juices turned into STDs. So that's just a
Exactly.
whole got mess within itself.
So
See,
now you have a
that's
whole
beyond
culture.
toxic.
Yeah, you got a whole culture of individuals who feel like the
Mhm.
totality of relationships is how good the sex is, or whether or not you getting sex from this individual. As if somehow it hasn't been proven over and over again that sex does not keep a relationship. I don't care how good the pecker is. I don't care how good the putty tat is. Sex does not hold an individual in a relationship. It's got to be more substance, but how can there be substance when the only thing you have is when you're laying down?
I have actually
And it's
sat
not
here
done
and
in the
watched a
proper
lot of
context
men
it's
who
supposed to
like,
be in.
yeah, a lot of men who have, I have sat and watched a lot of men who like women like sexy red. They want the sex and all of that. But then it's like, when it's outside of that, it's like, she get on my nerves. She ain't nothing but a hoe. She ain't nothing but a trick. But you will sit up and lay with that hoe and that trick.
Hmm.
So now you're toxic. Because now this is all you think about is number sex with her, but when outside of her, you talking about her like a dog. So it's like that's toxic.
Mhm.
It's very toxic on both sides. We were taught when we were younger, as young ladies, we were taught men were hunters. That
Hmm.
when you put everything out there, you take the hunt away. So ain't nothing
Hmm.
left for him to do but go in for the kill because you've taken the hunt away. So once you take the hunt away, the thrill, the chase, all of that away from the man, what are you leaving him with other than the sex? You laying the prize out. He ain't got to hunt for it. He ain't got to search for it. So guess what? You no longer become prize game because he didn't have to hunt for you. You were laying out. So you just like the average nickel and dime store soda pop and drink
And
and
he
I can
on
just
You
and the
was
starve
the
freak
or
come
wounded
out at
doe.
night, so he only see you at nighttime and at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
so you regular. So long as you're regular, exactly how are you going to expect something wholesome to come out when all you laying out on the table for him is what's between your legs? There's
That's
no,
right.
you're not sapiosexual, you're not intellectual. I'm the type of individual that before you ever touch me physically or arouse me physically, you got to stimulate me mentally. If there's no mental connection, there's not going to be a connection anywhere else. Period. That's how I
Yes,
am.
gotta
We
be
gotta be
friends
able to
first.
have some conversation. And I'm not talking about conversations about sex because you telling me what you can do to me sexually does not turn me on or excite me. It doesn't. Matter
Right.
of fact, I'm looking at you like, how juvenile and immature is this? That the only
Exactly.
conversation you can have with me is about what your penis can do. Like, baby, what?
You more into yourself than want to be with me, so that's a flag. If all you
I,
talking about is yourself,
Me,
I,
me.
I can't. But that's the
Who
nature
else want to be
of
Debo?
relationships now.
have
That's the
sex with
nature.
yourself then. Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
because
they
sex
doing it with
is
robots.
everywhere. Well, yeah, we still gonna do that video. It's coming,
Allegedly.
please and believe.
He said allegedly.
Yeah, because y'all know anytime we start talking
Y'all
about
already
some
know how
doggone
they be
robot.
acting, so we gonna
Right.
say
Yeah,
allegedly.
they was cutting you off like a mug yesterday.
And then I don't want them putting me out. So y'all see, I've been doing good today. They didn't put me out today, okay? So we're
Right,
not gonna mess that up.
Yeah,
right.
so we gotta stay off the robots, but we bringing them back. We are.
The alleged robot.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But
It's
but
crazy.
y'all look, stop and think about it though, right? Because if we edge out regular relationships because men and women are at each other's throats. So we're no longer getting together and now we're introducing into it AI that Nisi be talking about all the time, these
Then I'm
Instagram
gonna pour water
AI
on.
that she gonna pour the water on. But then, like Zach just said, now they introducing sex robots where they're trying to have sex brothels open up with these sex doll robots instead of actual people. Can you see how the enemy is trying to trick us into a divide so there's no longer any human connection at all?
Exactly. But Champagne, did you see how people can get locked in a Tesla? What if a robot get locked in on your genitalia and get turns off? Then what? You gotta start thinking about malfunctions when you dealing with stuff like that.
Right. Because how it's
What if
going
she go to lick your ear and bite it and then you can't have your ear back?
Oh Lord.
See, y'all laughing. I'm dead
Oh,
serious though.
Oh my God.
oh my god. I can't.
But real talk, you talking about robots. You never know. And then you gotta understand somebody hold the algorithm. Somebody holds the program. But as many movies as I've seen about there's a movie with Bruce Willis called Surrogate that I saw where they're literally living their lives in these avatar bodies like a whole metaverse outside. But but they can't leave outside of their home. So all of their interaction, sexual interaction, and everything is done through this VR system that transports you into another reality.
See, I ain't with all that.
And it seems to me like that's exactly where we're headed. Every time you turn around, you got men unaliving women and their whole families. We just talked about the drumming idiot earlier when we started that unalived them 4 people and left that baby on a stranger's doorstep. Then another killer on the run that they looking for unalive 4 other people. So you have all these men turning on women, unaliving women. Then you have stories of women who are actually now unaliving men and their entire families. So if we don't trust each other enough to be with each other because we don't know if we gonna live or die if I decide to date you, and then I turn around and say, you know what? Maybe I will try out the robot. I can get the robot made the way I want it to be made. I can get it made with the commands I want it to have. It ain't going to argue back with me. It's going to do exactly what I want. Now, all of a sudden, you got all these people in robotic relationships, further pushing us further and further apart.
That could get boring as hell when somebody do everything you say. That is going to be so like so. No, I think that's going to turn into some more therapy and psychiatrists and stuff. If you call yourself telling something to do and they just do it, I'm just me myself. I couldn't be with somebody that just do what I say all the time. No.
I got you. But see, stop and think about it. When you have a whole culture of individuals who are afraid of each other, what's the next step? If I'm too afraid of men to be with men because I've been victimized and abused by men, and I'm scared of what I see these men are out here on the street doing, and somebody come to me and say, well, hey, you know what? You ain't even got to worry about that no more. I got this robot over here.
It's a balance. It's a balance. And that balance can like be destroyed if that's all you doing is giving commands and it's happening. That's going to get boring. People are going to move on to something else more, they're going to want something else. Every time they invent something that like they started with that rose, what end up happening? Zoop, it went it's out of style now. It's certain things just don't last that long, especially when it's materialistic.
Press pause. Who rolls out of style? I don't even know what you're talking about. Who rolls?
Well,
Who?
well,
Not my
well,
role.
my rose went zil, and I'm not ever trying that no more.
No,
Cause no,
not my
not
role.
mine ain't act right. And that was
Matter of
my
fact,
first time ever experiencing with a toy, and I'm not playing with them no more. The
oh,
Victoria ain't my secret no more, and ain't no more lovers lane. I put my signal on. I done turned right now.
your
Mhm.
roles must have malfunctioned. I don't know what was
It
wrong with your
did, and
role.
it
No,
did, and it did, and I used those bunny batteries too, and they and it
You,
still
I don't
went
know,
zip.
you ain't had no
Niecy,
rose. You had a tulip.
right, Niecy,
I think I had
listen,
a daisy over in this boy,
It's
a
crazy.
dandelion.
look, if at first you don't succeed, try again. What we saying?
You
We
had a
don't
I'm gonna pray
cancel
dandelion.
about it.
roles. We don't cancel roles. but
Yeah,
But even that, when you start thinking about the introduction of even sex toys, you got sex toys out here that do the rolls and got a tongue on the end and got this on this end. To me, it's all a trap to separate us.
Yep.
Because if I can
yes,
have more fun
yes.
with a toy than I can with if I have a toy that gives me a stronger orgasm than men do, then pretty soon I'm gonna be reaching for my toy, and I'm gonna be out here talking about fuck these niggas.
Right, and then dude's gonna start looking at you like, damn, what about me? If you
Nope.
picking that up all the time, he gonna be putting his stuff back on and be like, I'll holler at you.
Exactly.
She gonna say, "Yep," and with my hand in my pocket.
And now you can't
So,
climb no more hills and mountains and go to the caves no more.
so fellas, could y'all be with a woman who has a toy fetish?
Yeah. Now, Define fetish.
Like she likes playing with sex toys. She
I
like
mean,
it, but
okay,
it has to be a part of the relationship. Like she cannot not have her sex toys.
for me that'll be a challenge. Cause in my mind, I'll be like, okay, so um, what happened that you had to implement that? You know what I mean? So it would be a challenge for me. Okay, yeah,
So if
go
she was
ahead, but I'm gonna
honest
try
with
to.
you,
I'm a
if she
We
so if
gonna
she was
wean you
honest
off of
with
that boy.
you, if she was honest with you and told you I ain't never been with a man that's been able to please me, so I've always had to have some extra, then what do
Oh,
you say?
that's definitely a challenge. Okay, let me show you something.
Well, I'm not no toy person, but at the same time, I'm sorry. I'm not going to choose no toy over no real penis. I'm sorry.
I didn't say
But
choose it over it.
she said that a man could never, satisfy her, get her over the top.
Oh,
So that's really a challenge.
That's where, in answer to the question, personally, I feel like that's where you have an opportunity, one, to either decide if this is a boundary for you. If it's not a boundary for you, it's an opportunity for you to be able to step into the interest of your significant other. Because if she's saying like she did this because this happened, then you could put the two together. You could still demonstrate to show her, hey, you really don't need this. We'll bring this in, but before you know it, you're gonna be putting this over there in the corner, and we're gonna be over here.
That's what I'm saying.
well, let me ask Champagne
I'll be
this.
like
How
Stewart.
would you feel if a guy chose a toy over you? If he was more
Huh?
interested in a toy more than you, how would you feel?
Would never happen.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold up.
Never,
What kind
ever,
of toy
Zach,
could he
stop.
be
never,
interested in?
ever, never.
Zach, stop
Huh?
acting like you ain't never heard of a pocket pussy before.
Exactly. It's guys that
Oh
are
yeah,
really,
yeah. See, it.
yeah, it's guys
I
into
was
that.
on a
I'm not
whole nother
talking about
level.
all that other extra stuff. It
I
is
was on a
guys
whole
that
nother
do buy
No,
level.
pocket. They buy them pocket for JJs, and some of them do the dials. They do the whole plastic dial. What if
Oh
he
yeah.
chose that dial over you?
I wasn't
Would
even thinking on that
never
level.
happen. Never, ever, 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 never, ever would it happen. Ever.
Yeah, because he can have all that plastic. He can have all of it.
Never,
I ain't
Uh
even like
never.
sleeping on the plastic that my grandma and them had on the couch.
Sticking to it and everything.
But
Exactly.
if you wanted to spice up your bedroom, you can invite the doll in and that be y'all
I
threesome.
know you lying that he might want the human, and then that's when we gonna have a problem. I know you lying. That doll better not ever even think about being inflated in my bed.
Uh-oh.
He gonna get a pen, I promise. You just like that AI can get water, she can get a pen.
You gonna pop it.
Exactly. Talking about what? Blow up something in my bed. I know you lying. Where the pump at? Cause I'm finna cut the cord. I'm not playing.
Quick question. Is oral sex a deal breaker in your relationship?
Uh-uh.
Not in mine, no.
When I say is it a deal breaker, I mean if you don't get it. Like, is it a deal breaker if they do not do it?
I might get a little tattoo.
Yeah.
But it's not a deal breaker. But you
But it's
might
not a
feel
deal
some type of
breaker.
way.
No. No,
Okay.
long as you done pull some hair and did some ass slapping, hey, I done forgot all about that.
Zach, what did you say?
I ain't said nothing.
I
He
know
was
I'm waiting on you
laughing.
to say something.
Huh?
is is it a deal breaker for you?
Is it a deal breaker? Would I um
Would you be with a woman that didn't give head?
I can't
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a good question.
That's a good question because see, it depends on. I can't even say it depends on the woman, but you know, if I'm a giver, then I would want to be given to too. So yeah, it might be, it could be.
Aggressive.
Uh, definitely. It is a possible deal breaker because at the end of the day, when we do go where we go, we're both here to not just not just selfishly chase our individual goals. We're there to satisfy each other. So one of those things is that. So, do that. It's like the old saying goes, if this sound gets the right sound, keep doing that until that ceases to work. So yeah, that could definitely be a deal breaker. It could, honestly, on the road. Because why not? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I say it's a deal breaker too because after some of that, sometime you do be at work or going on to your next day like, well, damn, that was the best shit I ever had. So I think it can play a role in it, but I wouldn't make it a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker.
No,
Okay.
it's that. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay. Anybody on the
That
panel
mean
got any
so
questions?
does that mean that you a
Hey,
headhunter if you
hey,
really make it a deal breaker? Does that mean you a headhunter?
No, it just means that you know what you like sexually. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Knowing what you like
Okay.
sexually in a situation. I think the biggest problem that we have is that we don't have conversations about what we really like. And in
Yeah.
the beginning,
Yeah.
we just jump into it haphazardly, hoping
Yeah.
that the person that we
Hmm.
decided to choose is going to give us what we like without
mm,
having a conversation. If this is somebody you talking about being in a relationship with, then in the beginning, I'm gonna let them know, like, okay, I like sex for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are you cool with that? If you're not cool
Hmm.
with that, we got a problem. So why are we going forward? It's not gonna be
Yeah.
one of those, well, let me see. Now there's such thing as a compromise. Now if you say, okay, well, I can't do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I can promise to give it to you every night, and I'll try to give it to you every morning when you get up. Okay, then we can have a conversation.
See, that's
Because
the
now we're
best
trying to
one when you wake
compromise.
up.
But if I'm got a super high sex drive and I know I'm talking to somebody who's like, I could take it or leave it, no, we're not compatible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta have that conversation in the beginning, like, oh, this is what I like. You gotta be able to hit it from the back, at least, at some point during the encounter. We are not honest enough about what we like, and then we turn around and say, oh, my sexual partner is boring. Well, are they boring, or did you not share with them what you like, so they're giving you what they're used to?
Right.
Now I got a question,
I think
y'all. When is there a point where when you ask your spouse, can you bring somebody in? Now I'm not saying that I would do this, but I'm saying if you go to your spouse and be like, I want to bring somebody else into our relationship, do you think that you should even ever do that when you're in a relationship and you love that person?
So, the only person you better invite with me is Jesus.
I know that's
after Christ.
For real.
exactly. I think that is another form of a toxic relationship is when you bring somebody else into your bed with your man or woman that brings toxicity. I really believe that threesomes bring toxicity and babies that ain't supposed to be there. I really believe that it does bring a lot of toxicity.
hmm Because somebody ain't gonna act right. Eventually,
Exactly.
in the beginning, it all is all fine and dandy, but You know, when you look at, I just go back to ancient times. All these, even over there in other countries, that get that is legal to have them. You know, many wives and things of that nature.
Mhm.
They all ain't happy.
That's right. That's
They
So
right.
all
you
ain't
telling
ain't ain't,
me,
ain't operating fluidly.
so you
It's
telling me if you come home and your significant other has another woman in the bedroom, look just the way you like them to look, thick like you like them to look, smell like you like them to smell, all of that down to the ground, and she be like, "Baby, it's time to play." You telling me you gonna turn around and walk out the room and tell her what the hell wrong with you?
I'm gonna be on brick mode, escorting her out the house.
I know
Okay.
that's right.
That's and you talking about nowadays, like now? Something something ain't
I
right.
think I think those gigolos that get lonely too, that is what they should be doing. I don't think you should be doing that with a relationship, okay? Now those
Right,
gigolos, they
right.
can do that. But when you're
Um,
talking about a relationship and you know you
mm-mm,
want to be with this person for the long haul, why
mm-mm.
am I going to sit up here and share them? No.
So
Jealousy
no
comes with
sharing on the
that.
table.
Jealousy comes with that, envy, because what woman want to sit up and see they man pound another woman like how he pounds you? And that is where that intimacy plays a major part in that. Also, the intimacy that you and him has built. Now we're talking about intimacy now. And you see him doing that to another
And
woman. Come on now.
Now, question, do y'all take time in relationships to build intimacy before you have sex?
yeah, that's key.
Yes, I do. I do. Because I'm a very affectionate person. I'm a Pisces. I love affection.
Okay. Zach?
Yeah, I said that's key.
Okay.
Mhm.
Progressive?
Definitely, intimacy definitely has to be built. I think that
Intimacy.
intimacy happens in the littlest of things, in the littlest
Yeah.
of what of ways. So many times people are looking for these grandiose expressions of intimacy, but it happens in the little things when you're talking and you're holding the conversation and we're engaging with each other and I'm looking you in your eyes. That's a form of intimacy. When I ask you what's going on with you or what you're up to, that's a form of intimacy. I'm literally
Mhm.
stepping outside of my own life, my own self, to be, for all intents and purposes, moved by what you're doing or potentially on the verge of doing. That's intimacy. The touching and the
Mhm.
rubbing and the petting, all of that is just another level to it. But it begins in the little moments, because if you don't have little moments, you will never have big moments.
Do you take out the time in your relationship to identify what intimacy looks like to your partner? And the reason I ask that question is because we can all talk about what intimacy is, but until you learn to identify your partner's intimacy language or their love language, there is the potentiality that you are giving your partner intimately something that does not
Mhm.
represent what they consider intimacy to be. So, do
Right.
we take out time when we're having those conversations about sex to identify, well, what's your love language? What do you consider intimacy to be? Because we might have two different definitions.
I'm like Janice, having someone who talks the talk and also walks the walk. So you could talk about it all day long, but your actions is going to speak louder than your words. And having someone who loves you despite your faults, that deals with a lot of intimacy. Having someone who knows exactly where it hurts, that's dealing with a lot of with intimacy. Cause I know you. I'm in love with you to this point where I know what hurts you. I know what not to say. I know your boundaries. That's intimacy.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to your partner. You got to listen to
Mhm.
him because, um and just pay attention. You pay attention, you ain't got to ask the question, what's your love language? They're gonna be forthcoming and tell you in ways that you can pick up on if you just pay attention. Because if you ask the question, um, they may think that this is their love language, but that's not part of it. Once you find out, that's not even part of your love language. So, or they may tell you what they want you to do that they ain't never experienced before, and so just pay attention. I try to make a big point of just paying attention, and I'll
If you
find out.
living in the projects and he make you feel like you living in a mansion, you batting a honey. You hear me?
Say what?
She
She
said, if
said if
you
you
living in
living
a
in the
project,
project and they make you feel like you living in a mansion, you batting 100.
Oh, okay. You
for
on
sure.
So
cloud
it's the way
nine?
they make you feel upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It makes you want to do better. You see, that love right there makes you want to go for that ultimate goal that you trying to go for in your relationship, and with it in the whole, because he makes you feel that way. And there go
Question
intimacy
then,
again.
do we date individuals that bring out the best in us? Do we look for that in a relationship of who we decide to get in one with?
I think a lot of us don't even think about that sometime. I think a lot of people don't even think about that until it's too far gone sometime.
And that's
I
something
agree.
that you say that a question again.
Okay. What did I ask? I'm medicated, y'all. Forgive
Me
me.
too. So
You
what you
said, do
want me to
we
do?
do we date people that bring out the best in us?
There you go. Do we
Yeah.
generally date people or date in order to get with someone who's going to bring out the best in us, or do we just kind of go with the flow? So, do we look for individuals who are going to bring out the best in us in relationships? Is that one of the points that you look for?
I think I think anybody, when we seriously looking for, our person, I think that's what we looking and hoping for when we choose a person.
Hmm.
I don't think that's something that we say, okay, that's not a criteria. You won't know that until uh you talk to this, you get to know this
Hmm.
individual. But I think in the onset, when you see this person and you interested, that's one of the hopes of that this person will bring out the best in us. But we won't know that until we actually engage with this individual.
Hmm. I got to say it best. Anthony Hamilton said it best. I'm giving you the best of me. And it's amazing. So that's something that has to be like awarded. That's something that you have to earn. Like
Yeah,
you have to be shown that.
it's gonna be, yeah.
Do we allow the individual to show us that before we get too deep in?
I have to play the
I think we
advocate
do.
because I have to play on the other side just for the sake of conversation.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times in relationships, our era, this era, 9 times out of 10, individuals are jumping into relationships based on a strong liking. Like, I
Hmm.
like that. So I'm going to get that instead of saying, is
Hmm.
this good for me? There's a reason why we don't just go in the store. Uh, at least currently, I ain't checked the news and just pick up raw meat and start eating it in the store because what? Because it's not good for us to do it. And that's the thing that I was saying earlier from a point. Like we choose all of these things to be able to protect ourselves from. We protected ourselves in the pandemic, but none of us we put masks on. We take medicines to be able to protect our body and so forth and so on. And all of these things that we do to protect our external body, but we don't take the precaution to protect our lives. And dating and relationships is your life because you get in the wrong one, it can take you either years to get over or cost you something more than what you're willing to spend. People are jumping in on strong liking. Like, I just like that.
Hmm.
But why do you like it? But
Yep.
do you know
I totally
what
agree with you,
comes with what you
Progressive.
like?
How can you, I mean, how can you get around the liking? You like, if I encounter if I'm seeing this woman and I'm intrigued and I say I want to talk to her, how will I know if it has to be a like for me to even talk to her, because
Mhm.
I won't know if she's good for me or not unless I talk to her and unless I like her.
And
You know
kick
what I
it with
mean?
her.
How do you get around? How can you protect yourself from this? Maybe not the potential person if I don't see if I like the person.
Okay, so here's my
A lot of people don't even date no more. A lot of people just jump into it. A lot of people just leave the club and get their freak on and then keep calling each other hoping they make it, and it just still keep up being a booty call. Some people don't even take out the time no more. Some people just jump right on into it.
So, so that's what is that?
That's
my
what I'm
bad. My
saying.
mic was off. Hold on a second. Question. At what
Mhm,
point it's almost like a marathon, right? So we in a
mhm.
relationship. When do we sit down? Because a lot of this has to do with us. Like, I know we talked about a lot what we see with other people, but a lot of this, when it comes to a relationship, we got to turn around the mirror and look at us. So when we look at a relationship, if I'm going to say this is somebody that I want to spend my future with and go the distance with, what roadmap do I have set up for me that says, okay, I need to see this to go from here to here? I need to see this to go from here to here. So when you say, well, I got to like this individual in order for me to progress further, okay, yes, absolutely. But what do you need to like in order to go from just the liking stage to now I want to get to know you? Then go from the get to know you stage to now I want to be intimate with you. Go from the intimate stage to now I want to have sex with you. At what point do we set up boundaries, or do we have boundaries set up to say, I'm not going to progress from this step to this step until I see this, and this? Do
No,
we do that?
what I was saying about, like, I'm saying I won't know if this person at the onset, I won't know if this person is potentially for me unless, because I got to see them first, and I have to like what I see for me to even talk to the person, to even get that initial conversation, talking about that initial. I have to like them, like something about them, for me to even talk to
That's
them to
true.
get to know.
But also in not just the aspect of liking them or finding them aesthetically pleasing, if you will,
Yeah,
everything that comes after that, that for lack of a better term, that progression is on the individual person.
yeah,
Speaking of,
yeah.
in
I'm
this
saying,
instance, of
yeah.
a man seeing a woman that he likes. Now you already know it's aesthetically pleasing to you, because if not, like you said, you would not have approached her, you would not have had a conversation. Now, since you know that, any male or female, you have to have, in this day and age, enough self-control, no matter what happened in the past, no matter what we've seen demonstrated, to pause and to say, hey, I do like this, but also let me figure out why I like this, and also what comes with liking this, in protection, not just for your well-being in dating, but also your mental well-being, because linking up with the wrong person can destroy a life. So I know you like it, but figure out why you like it, and figure out what comes along with you liking it.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
But even
That's
before you figure out the what the why you like it, you got to ask the question, what do I like? The problem is there's a whole lot that you can like about an individual, but do you take the time out to establish, in order for me to go from the like stage to a stage past like where I want to get to know you? These are the likes that I got to like. Not just your looks. I gotta like your looks. Okay, that's one of them. Like that's cross one off the list. What are your top 5 likes that you gotta see? Is there a specific conversation? Is there specific words or phrases or something that you're looking for, that you're looking to like about this person in order to go to the next step with this individual? Because too many times we don't even identify what it is that we like. We just know we like them.
Well, I got a sense of humor. So if my partner, if, that I like, one of my potential partner laughs at my jokes or show all type of different affections when we out, you know,
Mm.
that's when you start seeing whether this
And
person really likes you.
Okay, but what you gonna have past that?
Oh, you talking about beyond that? I thought you said in the liking. Oh, you talking about more
right.
than that?
That's just a part of the like. So you like the way they make you laugh, but making you laugh ain't gonna be a good husband necessarily.
Okay.
So
Okay,
what
yeah, you
else
right
do you
about
look
that.
for the like?
The
What other
food,
likes do you
how
look
he
for?
cooks, how he smells, his touch, the lingering of the affection, the winks.
Okay, fellas.
For me, I like I'll just give a couple of personal ones for me. I love seeing a woman, one that is not only just aesthetically pleasing, but also a woman that can move in a room, and I mean move respectfully, but move strong. Like like when she step in the room, like not even in a disrespectful way, her presence just says, "I'm here." Like that's one of the things that I like. That's one of the things that attract me. I like when a woman knows what's going on in the world around her. I don't want her to be talking about our president is George Washington in its proper context as far as history is concerned, but that's another story. But
Mm,
I want her to know what's going on in the world around her. Those are the things that move me, things like that, because that tells me, A, that she's aware of her surroundings, and two, she can move at any level 9 times out of 10 and where life is going to take us, because she could not just move in a room of just one set specific cultural group of people, but all cultures and able to navigate. Dude, that's priceless. And that's the type of individual you want to have around.
mhm.
And how she carries herself, her character, how she treats other people, especially out,
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I would
especially,
definitely, that would be a deal breaker if I was liking a female and I seen her interacting with people and just like a real nasty, mean spirited person came up. I
yeah,
gotta hit it.
so, yep, yes, your character, how you treat people, the way you carry yourself. Yep, like, for me, I like her to have a little bite to her, little, little pushback, little, you know, not no pushover.
Okay.
I don't want a woman that I could see that I can, walk over, or, you know what I mean, that she got a head on about her, and
She gonna stand up for herself.
she can stand up for herself. I like that. That right there is attractive to me. So,
Well, that
you
I
know,
know for a fact you ain't gonna go for the robots, then, Zach, because they sure
uh,
can't stand up for themselves.
I ain't going for no robot. Because if I, because I think about with the robot, I think about, we ejaculate, and that's a liquid, and something might short circuit. I might get shocked or something.
That ain't gonna stop people from buying the Keisha 3000s out here.
No, it ain't. It ain't.
Oh, short circuit is crazy.
For real.
I
I
can't
I ain't
have
gotta
doing
this.
that.
I
feel
can't breathe.
Lord have mercy. But this is what I want us to think about, right? Relationships are two people on a ship learning to relate. That's our definition. Not three people, not four people. At the end of the day, even if you have a friendship of four individuals, you're going to relate to each of those individuals in that friend group different. The
Mhm.
relationship between all four people in the group is never going to be the same. Why? Because you got four different individuals in one group. So I'm going to relate to you differently than I relate to somebody else. That's why a relationship has to be between two people. You're on a ship, cruise ship, whatever kind of ship you want to name yourself, and you're trying to figure out how can we together on this ship get from where we are to where we need to be? What do we need to do? What do we need to fix? How do we need to steer? Matter of fact, what direction are we going in? Once y'all decide to get in relationships, do y'all sit and have conversations with that individual about what direction the relationship is going in? Like, what do you want to do?
But Empress, I gotta say, can't be like any ship because it can't be like Amistad.
Slave ship. Half these people out here are on slave ships. That's the
Give
problem. They
us
on
free.
Amistad right now.
Give us free. We
That's what half of these married folks out here saying now. Give us free. For real. But how much time do y'all really spend figuring out
yeah.
what direction y'all relationship is going in?
Right.
Once you decide this is the person that you want to be with, do y'all sit down and have conversations with that individual about where, what direction the relationship is going? Like, where do we see ourselves in the next year, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years?
Man.
One of y'all gonna answer.
Huh?
I said, one of y'all gonna answer.
Actually, again, I was coughing. This
How
food
many
went
of
down the
y'all
wrong
sit
pipe.
back? Don't look, don't be dying on the live now, doggone it. I said, when you get in a relationship with an individual that you say you want to be with, do you sit down with that individual and ask where the relationship is going to be or what direction it's headed in the next year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years? Do you have that conversation when y'all decide to get serious?
Yes,
Um,
you should.
you should.
You go ahead, Zach. Go ahead, Zach.
No, go ahead.
No, Zach, go ahead, for real.
Huh?
I said, go ahead. I don't want you to lose your thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you should, I know
Okay.
I I know I need, for my next one, I'm definitely gonna make that like one of the uh, um steeple topics, you know. Touched on it in previously, but not didn't stick to it. Didn't hit it like I should have, you know. But I think that's major right there. Because if you don't have a good direction and have a good direction of where you're going and um a good plan to get there, you may not get there. So yeah, I think you should have that. Just like with, they ask you that, in your individual life. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Well, if I'm doing life with somebody, I think that should be paramount too.
I definitely agree. That's one of the things that should happen as well. I think a lot of times in a lot of The reason why it does not happen is because one, back to what I was initially saying, is just taking personal accountability. It's a choice to drown out the noise and to focus on the rhythm of this beat that you and this individual that's developed that no one else can be able to get on or be able to dance to because that's something that the two of you created. So if that's the case, you should pause. I 1000% agree to it. But it's about silencing that noise in order for it to happen. And it's not happening because there's a lot of relationships out here that would literally be probably go down in history, but the people are not drowning out the noise. All I know is these sons of bees is getting on my nerves at work. All I know is I wish I was born in another family or whatever the case may be. And then all the while you're doing that and you're focusing on the outside where you literally have someone there that has already said they want to do the journey with you. So if they want to do the journey with you, why you're not soaring into this individual and vice versa, that's on the journey with you because nobody is stepping up to silence the noise.
But here's the thing though, because we can all say all the pretty words and all the coulda, shoulda, wouldas that we shoulda, coulda, and can and all of that do, but are we actually putting this into work in our own relationships or even in preparation? Are we just stating what should happen or are we saying this is what we're actually doing?
Oh, I'm preparing myself. I'm putting in the work for myself.
What does
That's all
putting in the work for yourself look like to you?
Hmm?
What does putting the work in for yourself look like for you?
For me, it's doing the mental, emotional uh work that I need, you know, because I know me, I know I can be I can be a handful, so I'm addressing, a lot of my issues, working on that. I'm working on my um that's the heavy part there. And, getting myself in position to, you know, where I'll be able to sustain it, you know, financially. Um, yeah, so
Okay. Progressive.
Definitely, I agree that to that point, and one key word that Zach said as far as preparation. Yes, definitely preparing. But in the world in which you live in, please be honest with yourselves. Like preparation, even though you go after it, it is a journey. To love is a literal journey. Sometimes it's adventurous. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's joyful. Sometimes it's sad. But when those things happen, you gotta have those conversations. And then in answer to what you're saying, are you putting it in practice as much as I can every time that I can? But again, that's where it comes to as far as personal accountability. You gotta be at one to step up and say, "Hey, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about where we at. Let's talk about where we're going." But then, too, again, it goes back to personal accountability because if the person that's attempting to be that one to step out to have the conversation, be it male or female, they have to be strong enough internally to be able to have that conversation and to step out and step up and step out. Because to use your voice, that takes a lot of strength. And that's a lot of strength that a number of people don't have, but can have if they want to.
Okay, Nisi.
Okay. I think I'm kind of like in agreement with Zach. I think sometimes I just be needing to work on myself a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because I sometimes I be having expectations that I expect out of people, and sometimes I don't be doing that shit myself because I need to work on myself. So that's what my answer is. Sometimes I have to work on me before I can call myself going any further with my companion.
That's a lot of honesty, and it takes honesty in order to know like what you need to do in order to get better in your relationship when we're talking about toxic culture, because admitting that there's some things you still need to work on, that's like the first step in actually working on those things that you need to work on. Because if you don't admit there's an issue, then how can you work on the issue?
Mhm.
And really taking out the time. And that's what I want when we do our next live, which I think might be tomorrow. I might start it at 10 o'clock central just so we have a little time. But I really want to talk about today where we kind of talked about the other person. Tomorrow I want to kind of talk about us in toxic relationships and how much work do we do on us, like when we're identifying what we want to see from the other person, how much inventory are we doing on ourselves to make sure we're prepared for exactly what we ask for. So I want to have that conversation on tomorrow. So think of your questions, think of your comments, and if anybody else wants to come up tomorrow so that we can have this conversation, I'd love to have men and women on the panel so we can have an honest conversation with women and men about how much work we're really doing on ourselves before we get in these relationships, or are we expecting the relationship to change and heal and help us recover from what damage the last relationship did. So that's gonna be the conversation for tomorrow. Everybody gonna be available.
Well, I
Yep.
sure am.
Yeah, I should be there. 10 o'clock.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, 10 o'clock. We're gonna start 10 Central, just so we got a little more time so we can have a discussion about dating and relationships, toxic culture part two. So thank you guys for joining us. Does anyone have any final words?
Well, yes, because I just want to apologize to you all for the other day with Craig and that other guy. No excuse, but it's some things going on, with a couple people that I'm dealing with, and I just wasn't in the. I wasn't mad at them or nothing like, but I was just irritated. It just for whatever reason they just set me off, and I was just super irritated, and you know, um, but I shouldn't have let that spill over into this space here. You know, and so that's why I say um, I'm working on me, because there was a time where I wouldn't even care, and it would have got worse than that. But
Oh,
you
we.
know, I'm working on. So I just want to apologize. You know, to you all for that. You know, and you, Empress,
I
because this
want
is
to
your
say that
platform,
I
and I didn't
accept
want to be
your apology.
disrespectful. Huh?
I want to say that I accept your apology, and I myself, I'm cut like that too. I myself do have anger issues, and at the end of the day, I really felt like I knew where you were coming from, but you did kind of like let it get to you a little bit too far. And I'm glad you said that. And that's why you my confidant, Zach. And still at the end of the day, I'm gonna always take up for us because we been here since day one. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And I also want to commend you too for even after that happened, you still came back with us and you toughed this out. You get what I'm saying? So you
Oh
my
yeah.
confidant for life, my baby. We in this thing. And another thing too, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much for that apology, Zach. The one thing that I would say to you, um, is just work on your triggers. That's all. I want us to always remember, because for the most part, the ones that really come up on the panel are my moderators and people who have really connected with this YouTube channel. And for people who don't know, majority of the people who connected with me through YouTube. Like, we weren't this big group that I just decided to do a YouTube channel and they came over. No, they found my channel through YouTube and we just
Right.
became family because the Champagne City, that's what it's about. It's about building a positive community that wants positive change and family, like people that can be your confidants, that you can say, hey, listen, I messed up, I slipped, I just want you to work on your triggers, because that's what we were talking about that day, not being triggered. And we all have triggers. Hell, I got triggered. That's why I didn't do a video for about 3 days, because I was dealing with some, it didn't even have nothing to do with me. But
Right.
I'm
Right.
dealing with somebody else's situation and I'm so triggered trying to help them that I didn't have no energy to do a video. I was like, forget it. It ain't even in me. So we all have triggers, but and let me take it away from you, not just you, all of us, to just start working on our triggers, so that we're not easily triggered and people don't have that much access, even in the midst of our irritation, to make us even more irritated.
Hmm.
Because I'm working on that with myself. And that was really big of you to even apologize, but you didn't need to, because we all have human moments and
Right.
we are all here to cover each other, even in the midst of our human moments. We don't,
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes.
tear each other down and talk about each other and all that because we have a human moment. You
Right.
got irritated and I understood. But as us, I want us to be leaders. I want us to be examples to others of how to de-escalate and how to move around, so that other people can see, every channel on YouTube ain't about the toxicity and the negativity and the drama. Some
Mhm.
channels on YouTube are really about us coming together and figuring out how to become the best version of ourselves possible. That
Right.
was the whole purpose of this channel being created. And the only way to become your best version is to sometimes be triggered, so that you know in an area that you've grown.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, this is an area I still need to work on a little bit more.
And we also learn in a whole too what each other do's and don'ts are. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I know from this point forward, if we ever have that situation again, how we can be there for each other too. That really helped out a lot too, to know that we
Yeah.
can be there for each other. So I loved it that. And like I said, we've been here since day one. And if I can keep uplifting my confidant to make sure that we all still here together,
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for.
Gang. Gang.
Absolutely. And that's why we say link up, because we growing together. If y'all get a chance, please. I started a new series on the channel. It is called Mornings with the Empress. I did drop the first video. So those videos are a 3-part segment. The first segment of Mornings with the Empress is always going to be Command Your Morning. And those are early morning exercises to kind of help you wake up and shake that groggy feeling to get your day started right. And it's also full of positive affirmations. The second part of the video is a segment that I call Glow Off, where we learn to go, grow, and glow. That's what I call it. So that's your segment of encouragement, being uplifted, and being pushed from me to you to help you get your day started. And then part 3 is called the morning report. And that's where I give you, like some trending headlines that I think, you need to know while you getting your coffee and getting your day started. So
Hmm.
it's really to help you get your day started right, thinking right, in the right mood, the right attitude, so that you can really command your morning. Because a lot of times we just wake up and just go about our day. We don't state our claim on our day and tell our day what we want it to bring to us.
Yeah.
Whether you call it manifestation or whether you call it walking by faith, it's the same thing. The Bible says, God, who has the power, who called to call those things that be not as though they were. It's the same thing as manifesting. You're speaking things into existence. So we want to start speaking into existence the things that we want to manifest in our life. So go ahead and check out Mornings with the Empress when you get a chance. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to Champagne Secrets Reacts. That's our other YouTube channel that is on and popping, and it's growing, and I'm excited about that. It has a lot of TikTok story times. It's a segment over there called Champagne Shenanigans. I'm gonna have to. Zach told me today I need to put together a video with everything that the Champagne City has to offer so
Mhm.
that people know, because we are really a city. We have so many different segments. We don't cover just one thing, simply because I get bored too fast. So I can't just stay on one topic. I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff. And it gives me an opportunity to be a little versatile in my creativity, because everything that you see is created by me. So if
Yeah.
I go a day or two or three without y'all seeing a video, it's because I'm tired. I'm tired. These videos
Hey,
take
I
a lot
get it.
out of
I
me.
get it.
I'm
I get
tired.
it. Because the
So I
videos be
need a break.
videoing. I
But
get it.
if you want to support the channel, you can become a member of the Champagne City. We do have 2 tiers right now. Also, you can hit the Cash App, because all these little programs that I be using to give y'all all this beautifulness, baby, them programs cost. So if you want to bless the channel and help us grow and all of that, I would greatly appreciate it if anything that I've said on any of these videos have been beneficial to you, because the Champagne Gang knows that the secret in Champagne Secrets is empowerment. So
Mhm.
everything is going to be about empowering and uplifting and growing and glowing and going forward, stating our claim. We're going to have praise reports and everything come out of our confidence, because I want to see y'all do better and obtain better
For
and want
sure.
better, dream
For
better,
sure.
reach for the stars, reach for the sky. The sky is the limit. But thank y'all for joining me on tonight. So if no one, Progressive, did you have any final words?
One of the things that I've been saying over the last few days is that preparation is free. People always have the conversation about it takes money to make money. I do agree with that. If you ain't got the money to make the move that you want to move, or you ain't in a relationship that you want to be in, whatever the case may be, preparation is free. And I'm talking to myself as well. So many times it's easy to get caught up in everything around you, so much so that you forget to get caught up into yourself. In order for you to be your best self for anyone else, you have to first be your best self for yourself in order for you to be better for somebody else. But you can prepare at any given point in time. It's free. If you can't get to a library, get on YouTube. Start watching videos from people who actually move you and actually give you some insight and some creative ways in order to be able to become your best self. Because the only person that can keep us from becoming our best selves, us listening here directly, or those that's going to listen abroad, is you.
That's right. That's right.
Powerful. Thank you. And
And
Man.
also,
much love to Father Lock, even though he might not, I don't know if he didn't get a chance to come back up or whatever. Much love to Father Lock too, because his input
Much
has
love.
is much needed also. So
Yeah.
thanks to Father Lock also for being up here with us since he's not here in the closing.
Yes.
absolutely. I think he might have had to go back to work, but absolutely, Nisi, thank you for that. Thank you, Father
Yeah.
Lock, for coming up. Thank you
Brother
for
Love.
everyone who listened. Thank you for everybody who gave a like. Thank you for joining me on this show tonight. I hope we all learned something, and we are going to be coming back for part 2 on tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central. It will be an open panel, so make sure you come and make sure you join us. And absolutely, over the night, make sure you are working on you. Sit down, take you a piece of paper, write out the things about you that you feel like you need to work on in order for you to be the best that you can be for when God sends you the relationship that you are meant to have. So we're gonna
That's
have a big conversation about it. Make sure you write down your questions you want to ask the panel, anything you want clarity on, and let's make it a good show tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us. Champagne Gang, Fizz Fam, Confidants. I'ma drop the panel backstage. Y'all stay back there. Champagne Gang, Fizz Fam, Confidants. Always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. Ta ta.